I'd like to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and 84% of everybody who watches these videos is not subscribed. So if you do enjoy today's video or any of the ones you might have seen here in the past, please consider subscribing, and thank you so much for watching. I was taking a look at my analytics the other day, and I realized that by not posting anything Strive related for a couple months, I pretty much gathered everybody who doesn't play the game for one of two reasons, right? One reason they just aren't interested, or two, they have a disdain towards this game, right? But I feel like the changes that Arxis are doing this patch, from what I've read, is a step in the right direction. And I think it's worth trying out again if you already own the game, right? If you already own the game, it's worth downloading this update and at least giving it another shot. So today, let's talk a little bit about why I think this patch is going to bring some of you guys back to this game. And the first thing I want to take a look at is the general overview, right? We're not going to go through every single character. We're going to hit the high points, right? So what I want to do is first hit general game mechanics, so things that affect everyone, and then we'll take a look at the top three. So for me, the top three is Sol, Leo, probably Nagoriyuki, right? We'll take a look at those three. And then I want to take a look at the characters who have giant paragraphs, so who are getting huge changes. So some general things that they fixed: they added some support, fixed some bugs. But this one is pretty big. Reduced network connection time upon login, added into sync R code with the server feature. Basically, this means that screen when you open the game and it has the loading bar and you see all the memes of people speedrunning Sonic and shit, waiting for the game to open. That shouldn't be a problem anymore, right? So hopefully that works, because that was a big concern. When players suggested floor is Celestial Floor, they'll now begin matchmaking on Celestial Floor after selecting Quick Start from the menu. If you don't use Quick Start from the menu, essentially all it is matchmaking in training mode, but it's not actually matchmaking. It just takes your character and puts them in the tower for you in the background, and it matchmakes for you in the background. It's not like how Street Fighter or other games are, where it's just cycling through people. It's literally just your character sitting in the lobby, but you don't have to control him. But I like that feature. And also, I mean, this probably doesn't affect a lot of us because we either have not played the game in a long time or we're just not Celestial rank. But yeah, that's cool to see. So I guess that should clean up the 10th floor a little bit, because if you ever play on the 10th floor, it's a very mixed bag. It's either people who are intermediate, they're pretty decent, they're just on the 10th floor, and then there's level 12,000 VIP players who get put there, who are just playing on the 10th floor, right? So pretty good quality of life change. Training mode, just some other things, battle updates, R code. Yeah, mostly all you need to know from here is that whenever you log into the game, it's not going to take you 20 minutes anymore. Here we go. Universal mechanics, balance, and tensions. Overall changes. We have revised the overall functions of projectiles, special moves, aerial attacks, and anti-airs. Some projectiles, special moves now have less recovery, making them easier to use in neutral. So I don't really have any experience with this, to be honest with you. I don't play. The only character with a fireball that I kind of play is Kai. And I guess to that point, I don't use the fireball very much, because it did have it felt like a huge risk to throw that fireball, because he's standing still for a decent amount of time in a game that's fairly fast. So, another quality of life fix. I feel like this might lead to a little bit more use for those fireballs. In accordance with this buff to projectiles, we've also increased the benefit gain from landing aerial attacks, and many characters can now deal more damage than before on counter hit. So air counter hit. By increasing the number of moves that can be canceled into air dashes, it is now easier to launch an offensive after the opponent blocks your aerial attack. Okay, so as we go through this, right, there's things that I'm not going to understand. I'm not going to pretend like I do, right? I'm going to either skip through it. I'm going to tell you I don't understand what this means fully, but I know that it has implications, right? So first thing that I want to say is where it says it is now easier to launch an offensive attack after the opponent blocks your aerial attack. I don't know if that means you can let's say, for example, you do jump slash. Can you then cancel that into another jump slash? Can you jump cancel that, or how does that work? That's what I don't really understand. I do understand this part though, increasing the number of moves that can be canceled into air dashes. So I think we're going to see this on a lot of characters, but 6P, earlier, right, they said it's buffed on a counter hit, but it floats the opponent up higher while also reducing the horizontal distance they are sent flying back. That's also, this piece right here, very important. So whenever you 6P, they'll go up higher vertically, which means you can do more things in the air to them, right? So you can do more air combos and use those air gatlings that we saw earlier, right? Because you can gatling into D now, and you can jump cancel different parts of your jump normals now. So that's very interesting. That's very important to note. 6 heavy slash. Soul is no longer in a counter hit state after the active frames of the attack. Interesting. Second hit can now... Oh, this is Bandit Revolver. Second hit can now be performed with the K button, adjusted movement speed and blowback due to functional changes. Now triggers a counter hit effect. This is the buff they're talking about above to try and make you use Bandit Revolver over heavy DP in the corner to get a bigger reward. Lower the attack level, reduce the recovery time, expanded hitbox in front and below on the second hit, increase the distance from which the attack connects. So they made the range longer. Increases base damage scaling. So when it says increases base damage scaling, remember that means that damage is going down, I believe, because it's making your each hit do less and less damage in a combo. Grounded Bandit Revolver, reduce startup time so it's faster. They really want to make you use that instead of DP. Bandit Bringer, all types now triggers a counter hit effect. Bandit Bringer, I think, is the one where he like goes in the air and like punches down. He like it's like his dive kick kind of. It's kind of like a dive kick. Night Red Vortex, increased base damage scaling. It seems like they're reducing the damage across the board, right? We've only looked at Soul, but if these changes are on the other two, I'm guessing it's on most of the rest of the cast, and they're bringing that damage value down a little bit, which is a welcome change, right? I think people are getting a little bit tired of getting hit twice by Nago or like some of these high tier characters and just dying. So a welcome change, right? Let's take a look at Leo next. He got a decent amount of changes actually. The time you can cancel into guard point follow-up moves has been sped up due to the long overall recovery of standing far S and heavy slash. 6 heavy slash can now be comboed into from crouching S counter hit and other moves. Let's take a look at what a 6 heavy slash is. I forgot. It's this one here, his 6H. This move I only remember because it's what you get when you like mess up your charge for the fireball, right? So when I was playing Leo for a little while, I would get this when I tried to throw heavy fireball and I did not charge right, or maybe I like stepped forward or something. So I am all too familiar with this move for all the wrong reasons. So essentially now you can combo into it from crouching slash counter hit, right? So seems pretty good. I don't know if it comboed into anything before or if anything comboed into it, right? I'm not sure. Standing far S, sped up the time which can be followed with command normal 4. Standing heavy slash, sped up the time which command normal 4. Same thing, these two. 6P made the opponent float higher, right? Same change that we saw in Soul and a lot of the rest of the cast. Makes them float up higher, but it doesn't say that they don't go as far horizontally, right? For this 6P at least, so who knows. 6 heavy slash now floats the opponent on grounded hit. Oh, wow. Okay, so it seems like across the board, they want to use more air options and more air combos, right? So floating means that I think they're in a juggle state, so you might be able to pick them up and do some cool shit off of that. Decrease the horizontal distance of the opponent sent flying back. Okay, so this is one that we saw on Soul, right? So they're going to float, and they're going to float straight up. So you can hit your air combos a lot easier and a lot more consistently and probably do a lot more stuff than you can right now. Command normal 4, increased movement speed. Command normal 5, reduced recovery. They made this faster. Jump S, Leo is no longer in a counter hit state after the active frames end. Okay. Increased startup of whatever this is. This one I think is the one where he like slams the ground. He slams the ground and does like the fire comes out. I think that's what that one is. Punch during Brynhilder stance can no longer be jump canceled. I don't know what some of these moves are, but increased base damage scaling again is what we need to take away. These are important if you know what they are, but what we should take away is that they increase his base damage scaling, which means they again lowered the damage. They're lowering the damage a little bit. Leo's no longer a counter state during the animation of cancel Brynhilder stance. Okay, that's interesting too. Last character I want to take a look at before we move on to everybody who has the big ass paragraphs. Nagoriyuki, dude, this guy is thorn in my side, right? One of the only people that I play this game with is a very, very strong Nagoriyuki player, and I cannot beat this character for the life of me, right? Shinzuriyuki has been greatly changed from its former function, and the downward swing can now be manually activated by heavy slash button input. With buffs to startup time, it is now easier to use as an anti-air or a punish. I need to look this move up real quick because, to be honest with you, I don't know the moves by their names. So it's his anti-air, this move here. I thought this was 2H the whole time, but apparently it's 6 2 3H, and then you do the first part and it says second it only comes out on hit or on block. But now with that change, you can just press H again and that second part will come out manually. I think what this means is that you can probably do some like fucked up like delays with it, like stagger it. So you could do the anti-air, then like maybe stagger the second part. So you put that part in late and then they get counter hit and then they get blown up, right? Because I think that's a combo starter for him too. So yeah, it doesn't even look like they did. They like buffed him, right? It looks like he got buffed. Other move that they buffed was his fireball, the one where he shoots the clone at you, and you know, it's not very. I don't see a lot of people using it right now because I think this is just more effective, right? Walking back and then jumping in with Beyblade is a little bit more effective than this fireball, but I think that's what they're trying to change. Like I said before, it seems like their philosophy is they don't want to take away from the player. They want to give them better options so they don't keep using those old options. But I don't think the fireball is going to beat Beyblade as an option, right? So let's take a look at it again. Grounded throw, fix the bug, adjust the descent timing on aerial throw, reduce the horizontal distance the opponent set flying back, making them float up higher. Again, universal change for a lot of characters. 6P is going to now make you go more vertical, right? So you can use those air combo changes, right? You can use those new Gatlings. Blood Rage hitbox no longer clash or be reflected. I didn't know this was even a thing. I didn't know that the Blood Rage startup, so where he like stands up and all he like makes those waves fly, and if you get hit, you get thrown across the stage. I did not know those could clash or be reflected. I guess you could 6P it and it might clash with it. Now you can't. This is the fireball. Reduce startup, increase movement size and speed of the hitbox. Unified the size of the clash range. Interesting. Nagoriyuki, increase base damage scaling. I think this is Beyblade. This is the DP that we talked about just now, right? So he can now do the second manually rather than having to like hit you, right? So he could stagger it or maybe bait you with the first part and then press the second part. Reduce startup so it's faster. Second hit now triggers a counter hit effect. That's fucked up. Because if you get hit by the stagger now, if you get hit by the second part of that stagger, you will get counter hit. You will get blown the fuck up because it's Nagoriyuki. I'm looking through it now. We're not going to be able to go through all this because I don't want to upload a 40-50 minute video, and I feel like a lot of you guys just want to read through it yourself. I'll leave it in the comments down below. But there's a lot of changes here, right? And the only reason I'm making this Strive video is I think it's worth returning to try out, right? They're really trying to change the game up and add a lot of things in that weren't in it before to sort of give it the feel that you wanted in the first place, I think. So I'm definitely going to be on this game. I'm definitely going to be trying it again. And if you play whatever character you play, go through and check their stuff because a lot of them got insane changes, right? Like a ton of changes. Look how many changes Milia got. She has so many changes, and she's probably going to get even better because of all the new stuff you can do in the air, as well as the 6P changes where they float. She already had some of the most options in the air, right? Some of the most stuff you can do air combo wise, but now with the 6P making them float more vertical and the new Gatlings, she'll probably be able to do some fucked up stuff that we are not ready to see. So definitely check out the patch notes and definitely check out the game again. That's all I have for you guys today. So if you enjoyed this one, please consider subscribing, and thank you so much for watching.